Well, welcome in, folks, to what are we calling this? We're still calling it Weather Minds or whatever.
Weather or whatever.
I think when Ben and I are out here, it's just Weather Minds or whatever. So I'm meteorologist Jamie Kagol. This is meteorologist Ben Dery. I'm sure we're pretty familiar faces, but this is when we get to kind of dig deeper into the forecasts and really get into the nuts and bolts of it all. It's fun for us. It should be fun for you as well. And again, it gives us a chance to really kind of, again, pull back the curtain and really pull apart the forecast, especially with this one with severe weather.
It's finally starting to look and feel more like summer. When not only we had the hot temperatures, but now we have this severe weather potential as well, and a couple of chances for severe weather over the next couple of days, day and a half or so. We have more confidence in the first round that's arriving after dark tonight. A little less certainty about Wednesday's system, which is very contingent on what happens during the overnight storm. So let's get to it. This is a 15-minute stretch of weather, so we're going to start off with your forecast. So we have a weather impact alert. Goes into effect tonight through Wednesday. It's due to multiple rounds of severe storms, and we do need to be prepared for those multiple rounds. And the Wednesday one is a little bit more urgent, but again, that really depends on what happens overnight tonight. So today, it's the Dakotas and far western Minnesota, likely going to be a big severe weather outbreak there this afternoon. There is an enhanced risk for severe weather in that orange category. And notice that does include far western Minnesota, but the severe threat drops off the further east you go. The theory is we'll see severe storms over the Dakotas. Those storms race through Minnesota tonight, and they should gradually lose their severe capabilities through early Wednesday morning. So again, that's tomorrow, or tonight I should say, into early tomorrow. Let's check out Microcast. Most of today is going to be totally fine, dry conditions. This is tonight. This is just after midnight. Notice those storms just moving into western and southwestern Minnesota. Let's pause this at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be busy. This is probably going to wake you up, say, window between 2 and 5 o'clock in the morning. We'll see lots of heavy rain, some lightning and thunder, potential for some sporadic wind damage as well. But again, by this time, these storms should gradually lose their severe capabilities. We head into deeper into Wednesday morning. This is 7 a.m. when most of us are doing our morning commute. Still some lingering showers, but you notice the bulk of that heavy stuff is moving away from us. So we should see a bit of a lull through at least midday on Wednesday. Then the question is, what happens tomorrow afternoon? And Jamie, there's some uncertainty with exactly when and where this second round begins. Yeah, the conversation amongst the weather department has been, is it going to hit primarily the Twin Cities and east, or is it going to be east of the Twin Cities? And the high resolution models that we use really kind of focus on a 48-hour window, have been kind of back and forth with that. If it's going to be over the metro or actually just across the St. Croix and the Mississippi River Valley into those late afternoon, evening hours. So again, I'd say if you're around the Twin Cities, you certainly should be on alert there for that. And even leading up to it, it's just that bubbling up, a few thunderstorms here or there. The models haven't really haven't been too specific about what could happen. Again, that noon to say 5 o'clock window, we can see things pop around here, but really the better organization comes in late afternoon and through those evening hours. Right, and again, it's all contingent on what happens with tonight's storms, because it's a couple of reasons. First off, the storms that blow through tonight, they'll create these little fronts, these miniature outflow boundaries where storms will feed off of. That's one thing that adds uncertainty. The second is how quickly those storms exit the area, because the sooner the morning storms, the overnight storms leave, the more time the atmosphere has to recharge, to re-energize for those afternoon storms. If the clouds and the threat for rain lingers a little bit deeper into Wednesday morning, say mid to late morning before we clear out, we might see that severe weather threat get nudged further east into western Wisconsin. That would leave most of Minnesota with lesser chance for severe weather. And again, if those storms clear out early enough, we will see that re-energized atmosphere a little earlier in the day on Wednesday. So what we want to do, let's go back to our forecast model into Max, and we'll show you. This is again 5 p.m. This is the latest high-res forecast model, which has trending to start that next round later in the afternoon and evening as that front pushes into Wisconsin. So let's go even further out. This is 7 p.m. Notice most of the Twin Cities and points westward by this time are in the clear. But as Jamie mentioned, there's been some flipping and flopping within this one forecast model in particular. the latest run has it starting in Wisconsin. One run prior, we saw it starting across a line from, say, Grand Rapids to St. Cloud to Mankato, giving the Twin Cities some severe weather threat. So the bottom line with that is there still is some question as to when and where that second round on Wednesday is going to fire. Regardless, we still have that enhanced risk for severe weather. That's the orange category. That's a 3 out of 5 on the severity scale. So if these storms do fire up, they could quickly grow to become severe, and that would include all hazards from large hail, damaging wind, and yes, a few tornadoes as well. That's kind of the end of our busy forecast. We head into Thursday, the chance for rain will be there, but I'm thinking the chance for storms kind of diminishes a little bit. A little wet on Thursday, lower humidity by Friday, and look at that stunner of a weekend. I say stunner because we have not seen a high temperature cooler than 80 degrees since May. So it's been a while. Refreshing, cooler temperatures, lower humidity, and rain-free should be Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I think the last time we were in the 70s, it was May 31st. Rather cool day. I think the high was about 71.
Yeah, it was
abnormally
chilly.
cool. Probably heavy cloud cover, some rain, things like that. And then we went right back into the 80s. And yeah, it looks like not until this weekend. And when you see those overnight lows dipping down into the 50s, that's signaling that your dew points are going to be into the mid 50s, which means we're going to get out of these low 70s, upper 60s. Should go from a summer-like tropical feel to refreshing spring once again. So I think this upcoming weekend could be spectacular.
Isn't it weird how, like, it was just a couple weeks ago where we're like, man, I can't wait for a streak of 80-degree days. And we're like, okay, it's been 10 days. Let's wrap this up, right? And yeah, like you said, 15 of the last 16 days have been 80 degrees or warmer.
Yeah.
We've seen a pretty decent stretch of these warm temperatures, most recently dealing with the humid air, the hot, hazy, humid days of summer. I mean, that's what we're living in right now. We'll get at least a temporary break from that, starting possibly as early as Friday, but more likely this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Where lower 70s.
It'd be a decent stretch too, where we would enjoy those temperatures at or below average. And
That's right.
Get that spring-like feel in there.
And usually when we see those cooler temperatures, it means a break from any severe weather threat as well.
Yep. Start talking about showers and not storms so much.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go back to Max and we'll talk about the other alerts that are in effect today. An air quality alert goes into effect noon until 9 p.m. today. It's not due to smoke, it's due to ozone pollution. So ozone, ground level ozone is what it's called, is produced when you have a combination of factors. You have to have, first off, a lot of car exhaust and industrial emissions, things like that. But you also need sunlight. You need lower humidity, which is interesting because we have a bumped up humidity today. And the combination of all those factors creates these organic compounds that basically are bad for air quality. So we could be in that orange category, unhealthy for sensitive groups. They're usually limited to high population areas, including the Twin Cities. That stretches up towards St. Cloud as well. So if you do suffer from heart disease, lung disease, it's not a good day to overexert yourself as we head into this afternoon. We also have a heat advisory, which is kind of strange, Jamie. This only includes a few counties in northern and northwestern Minnesota. Why is it that it's limited to these areas and not the broader Minnesota, Wisconsin?
Well, the first thing to keep in mind when we have advisories is that there are criteria that need to be met, or at least expected to be met, and that's why that air quality alert was for just a limited area. So again, when you get these, whatever advisory it is, they're looking for a specific criteria with what's coming up. So they're going to be talking about temperatures that will reach that heat advisory criteria. For us in the Twin Cities, it's not being met. For the cloud cover in the morning, that was also going to keep the temperatures back. But very odd shape to it when there's a couple of counties and you find these open spots within it. You think, well, you should just kind of throw it all together.
So the National Weather Service sometimes has a communication problem where, these are different offices. It's not just one, nationwide organization that's issuing these. These are offices. So the office in Duluth might have a different idea of what's happening versus the office in, say, the Twin Cities. And when it comes to these non-severe things like the heat advisories, things like that, they tend to just say, oh, we're just going to cover this area. And we're not going to worry about what you are dealing with. But like you said, it has to do with criteria. And if we don't hit that specific number, say, I think in the Twin Cities, I think it's a heat index of 95 or 96 has to be forecast.
Could be.
Or maybe it's close to 100, something like that.
And then sometimes they try to coordinate. Duluth talks to Minneapolis, and again, Minneapolis doesn't cover the entire state either.
Right.
Sioux Falls is in there, and La Crosse is in there, and they try to coordinate. They try to, okay, we got to make this look good, I suppose. Legible, and to make sense and things like that. But you're right. Some offices say, nope, we're not doing it, and others say we are. So that's why you can have kind of funky looking maps like that every once in a while, and whether it's winter, spring, fall, summer, that sort of thing does happen once in a while.
Yeah, of course, when it comes to those big systems like winter storms and things like that, there's got to be like that wider, organization between different offices. When you have something like a winter storm that covers several states.
And those are so expansive. So those cover a lot of territory. So there's a lot more communication there as well. And you don't need a heat advisory. I don't need a heat advisory to tell you it's going to be hot and humid today. So again, sometimes we use them, sometimes we don't. It doesn't make it any stronger of a message. I'll just tell you, look, your heat index in the low 90s.
That's pretty toasty.
That is muggy stuff for us. Dew points in the low 70s. So
yeah,
you can wear.
That's right. We started the day off with some lower hanging clouds and some slightly reduced visibility as well with the hazy conditions. Looks like that's lifting. We're going to see brighter conditions this afternoon. We had a couple of non-severe storms in the north central part of the state. That's all dissipated for the most part. Now our eyes turn toward the west, North and South Dakota. Whatever forms there is going to bring us our severe weather potential tonight. That's wave number 1. So that's where we have that enhanced risk for severe weather. Those storms crossing the border into Minnesota overnight tonight. They'll gradually lose their severe capabilities through the night. That's why you see the colors kind of change from enhanced in far western Minnesota to marginal risk for severe weather across western Wisconsin. So this is microcast. This is the latest high-resolution forecast model. This was released this is the 12Z run, so this was released just after 7 o'clock this morning. This is Wednesday, early morning. This is just after midnight tonight. You can see those storms just now crossing into western and southwestern Minnesota. This is 4 a.m. It should be a little rumbly for greater Minnesota. These storms still could pack a bit of a punch. We still could see some sporadic wind damage and maybe even some small hail as well. But again, it should be more bark than bite at this point. This is the morning commute. This is 7 a.m. The heaviest rain takes a backseat. Still some lingering showers early in the morning. And we mentioned this earlier. The sooner we clear out, the better our chances of seeing severe weather later Wednesday afternoon and evening. This latest forecast model run tends to favor the storms popping just east of the Twin Cities and then pushing deeper into Wisconsin. But regardless of when those storms pop, they still could become severe rather quickly. We still have that enhanced risk for severe weather for Wednesday afternoon and evening for much of eastern Minnesota and most of Wisconsin.
It'll be interesting to see if Storm Prediction Center adjusts those contours.
Right.
Because that'll be coming up later today, and then they're going to start issuing their discussions, which is a conversation they have with meteorologists all around the country. Kind of shows them tells us what they're looking at, what they expect, if there's going to be a watch box issued, things like that. But it kind of gives you a hint as to what they're believing at that time. But again, is it going to be eastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, where we see things? And I always give it the Italian dressing.
I'm looking forward to this. Yeah. What is this?
You talk about the destabilization. So when showers and thunderstorms come through, it's like taking that Italian dressing and shaking it up.
Okay.
So everything settles. It's just how you want it, and then you wait for that to separate. That's the destabilization. That takes a little while. So if you get the clouds out of the way, if you get the rain out of the way, it'll separate faster. You get into that.
I see.
So that's the Italian dressing analogy. That's the word I was looking for. That's what I use.
I was like, are we going to marinate some ribs or something here?
It's going to be delicious.
Yeah, it'll be a delicious setup no matter what. And with these severe weather outlooks, it's tough to get specific timing down because forecasters, we're just showing you that the ingredients are here where we could see storms develop versus a winter storm where you can see that days in advance slowly working its way and slowly evolving. Severe weather is rapid pace. Things are happening rather fast. So we look at the ingredients are here that could produce severe weather, but we don't know exactly when that's going to pop or exactly where. So especially when we're more than 24 hours out, that's when things get a little interesting. Let's show you one more time that 7-day forecast, which is going to show strong thunderstorms tonight and once again Wednesday afternoon. At least the potential is there. If you have outdoor events planned Wednesday afternoon and evening, make sure you stay tuned to the forecast. Rain showers linger into Thursday morning, but look at that weekend. Sunny 70s back in the forecast. Looking forward to that. I will continue to update you here and online. Have a great day, everyone.